Okay, hey, Ryan here with Hustle Sauce. I have Michael Sharkey, from yourpodcastcoach.com. Michael, we're going to jump right in and talk about your secret sauce, what's working best for you right now.
Well, I got to be honest, what has just been transformative with my business has been my landing page and my lead magnet over the last 12 months. So I really, I see you're on my website right now. That's awesome. So let's talk about landing page. First of all, I'm going to tell you, this is a hack job landing page that I built in the back end of MailChimp. I don't know, 2 years ago. Yep. And it's the worst. I will tell you that my landing page might be the worst. There's no headline, you know, like if you Google, how to build a great landing page, like this thing does not, there's no big bold headline. There's nothing. It's short, it's sweet, that sort of thing. But my landing page, this landing page that's on the screen, and if you're just listening, you can go to yourpodcastcoach.com, /podcast roadmap to see it. But this landing page converts at almost 60% over time. Like not just
Facebook
like
traffic.
Yeah, it's crazy. So like I'll send Facebook traffic to this. Obviously, it's on my homepage. So I get, organic leads, Google search. If you Google podcast coach, I come up on the first page, which is good. But look, I mean, the bottom line is that, when we talk about landing pages, I think the thing about it is everybody wants to get so like, oh, I've got to build this perfect landing page. And I don't think it exists. I think the perfect landing page is the landing page you build that you send 100 or 200 people to, and you see how it converts.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think what's working for you here is the actual content too. Like the actual thing you're offering is pretty cool.
Yeah. So I have a thought on that, which I'll get to in a second, but like just comparison, I took, cause I use ClickFunnels as well. So I built like a nice, like as you would think of as a nice sort of, what you imagine as a perfect landing page. It converted at 30% over. And sending like, I probably sent 500 people to that landing page. So, I mean, it's good enough sample size.
Same offer,
same everything, but this, back end template MailChimp has worked really, really well. But yeah, absolutely. And, to your point about before we look at the actual roadmap, because something that I've been saying to my clients for a long time, and I call it my CART method, CRT, is that when you're building a lead magnet, if you can make it a checklist, a roadmap, or a template, it's really, really easy for people to understand what that is. So I think a lot of people get in their own way with lead magnets because they're like, hey, I'm going to make this 5-step systematic process to blah, 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 blah. And people don't even know what that is. They may want it, but they don't know what that is. Whereas people know what a checklist is, people know what a template is, people know what a roadmap is. So for all my clients, I recommend build a roadmap, build a template, or create a checklist. Because again, it offers what is a lead magnet supposed to do? Offer high value for free to bring people into your world. So I have a podcast roadmap, and it's literally, back end. It's my course. It's what I take people through from the start to the beginning. And I just build a nice PDF that I send to people.
But the actual roadmap landing page here, it just cracks me up. It's MailChimp's built-in landing page generator that basically probably comes with a free MailChimp account, or do you need to be upgraded in MailChimp to have this?
Well, it's funny. I built this when I was still on a free account.
Yeah.
And now I pay, I know a lot of people don't like MailChimp, but I've been using it for so long that it just would be too much to change now that I have a bigger list, but yeah, this was one of their back end hack job templates. I built it before I even knew what I was doing. And I was just like, all right, well, let's see what happens. And, there's too much copy on it. But the bottom line is it converts.
Yep.
And that's what matters.
I love that you have the email address and the first name in the wrong order. It burns my eyeballs out.
Oh my gosh, I sure do.
I'm kidding around about the wrong order. It's clearly the right order if it's converting at 60%. So it doesn't matter. Okay.
That's funny. Yeah. I just look, what's probably funny about that is that when I built this landing page, I probably didn't know how to change that order. Like I probably again, I've used this landing page so much over the course of the last, because I used it for my original lead magnet. I had a couple of lead magnets before this. So all I did is when I updated to the podcast roadmap, I had just basically swapped out images and stuff. But this landing page is just, it's the same thing.
Awesome. So the actual roadmap. So this is the page, you drive traffic to it, and then we'll show the roadmap here.
Yep.
You want to talk about how you got this created? I think it's kind of a cool story and taught me a thing or two.
Yeah. I mean, so, really the thing about this roadmap, as I said a moment ago, is like, it's the steps that I take people through. And what I try to explain to people is like, look, if you're just getting started with a podcast, go to step number 1. If you're at a place where you've already launched and you're growing, then you'll start, step number 8, 9, or 10, somewhere in that ballpark. But basically, I just sat down and I thought, okay, let me think about what steps do I take people through, literally step by step, if I'm coaching somebody, and let me just put it all on a roadmap. And then I was like, well, I kind of want a map. I want it to look like a roadmap. I want there to be a road and little like vector icons and things like that. So I went on Fiverr, and I'll be honest with you, up until this point, I went on Fiverr and I had zero success with Fiverr. Like Fiverr was just garbage. Yeah. And when I went on and I was like, all right, so this has worked for me really well since then. Because I'll find 3 or 4 people with at least 50 5-star ratings.
Okay.
So they're doing well. So I'll like Google, like, build a, lead magnet or whatever. I'm
just trying it out.
Yeah. Like, so I bet my person's probably on, well, she may or may not be on here. Cause she's since designed a lot of stuff for me. But like, here's a person, your first person's got 78, average at a 4.9, 89, average at a 4.8. These people, they kind of know what they're doing. You know what I mean? So what I did is I basically wrote a quick paragraph. Like, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a roadmap built with vector icons. Do you have, A, do you think you can do this? And B, is this something that you've done similar work in the past? And these people they want work. So within 24 hours, I sent three notes on Fiverr, got 3 replies back. And one of those 3 people had built really cool, like vector style PDFs in the past. And I was just like, okay, perfect.
And what'd you pay? You didn't pay $5. You paid a little more.
No, I paid 25.
That's awesome.
That's $25 for this. And I always tell people, I'm like, they're like, oh man, I got to go get a product designer and all this stuff. No, you don't. I mean, obviously I had to write all the copy. She gave this to me in a PSD file. So when I need to update copy in Photoshop, or, I can do that. I haven't, I don't need to, but if something comes up, I can do that. But it's literally like, she did a great job. She's a fantastic designer. She's based in Pakistan, I think. But since then I've done the exact same thing for people to write my email newsletters. I've done the same thing to learn Facebook ad, get it whenever iOS 14 happened and all that crap happened. I just went on and was like, all right, found somebody to teach me how to do all that. So Fiverr ended up being a really cool tool. But I get a lot of comments on this roadmap. This roadmap has led to a lot of people reaching out. Again, what is a lead magnet supposed to do? Build trust quickly, give high value quickly, so that when you go and say, hey, let's set up a sales call or a strategy call, they're inclined to do it because they already feel like they've already received value from you. And I'll tell people, take this roadmap. You don't need me. You can literally follow every step and you're fine. But as we all know in business, is that once you give somebody that, it just presents more questions, and then they come back. And that's where you get coaching clients and, course sales and things like that.
So the roadmap itself, I think one key takeaway for me as I watch this is the roadmap, the lead magnet itself, the quality of that is probably more important than the landing page. The landing page just needs to convert. It doesn't matter because people they're not that plugged into you yet. Where you build trust is when they land here and they're like, oh, this is cool info. It looks polished. Yeah. So that when they do get to your offers, I have your sales page up here. The offer page doesn't even need to be that great because you've built some trust with the landing page, and the job of your sales page is just to continue that credibility and close the sale. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's interesting about it, you're 100% right. Like my landing page, I don't feel like anybody is going to go to a landing page and go, you know what? I mean, I guess it can happen, but like, as long as it's good info, like, hey, here's a free roadmap to help you with your podcast, whether you're just getting started or you're on your way to your 100th episode. That's it. If you want it, great. I mean, it's cold traffic, so it's just like, I'm not trying to qualify leads or anything like that. I'm not, that's not what the point of this landing page is. It's to get leads, and then I can qualify them later on through emailing them and nurturing them. But yeah, I mean, it's more about that. And the one thing I'll tell you is, before I built this roadmap, I did a lot of research I downloaded a ton of lead magnets from people. You know what? And there's a lot of big names out there that give you crap.
Yeah.
Like, download this free blah, blah, blah. And it's like a bad 40-minute Zoom interview or something, It's like, it's not like they didn't spend any time working on it. But then you get to people where it's like they clearly spent time, like spent way more than $25 designing it. But that design, that little bit of effort goes a long way, like you said, to building that trust.
Yeah. Well, you look like a legit podcast coach. There's some things in here that I could see somebody printing this out if they are launching a podcast. Provided value. Let's forget about. I have Michael. Excuse me, everybody.
Sorry.
So, yeah, very cool. And then, so then you just continue through and you make the sale with a typical sales page. Thanks for sharing, Michael. I think. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, just kind of complete sort of that funnel thought. Is I have people go to the landing page, they download the lead magnet, and then I nurture them with a 7-email sequence. But I always point back to that sales page that you were just looking at, which again, we can talk about that next time if you want. But I think it's just good practice to when you're really thinking about good offer and a lead magnet, building trust quickly, developing those relationships, which is, that's the core of email marketing.
Yeah. So key takeaways: don't obsess over the landing page design itself. Make sure the landing page offers a solid magnet. Maybe put a little effort into designing something cool. In Michael's case, it was $25 to get somebody on Fiverr who took his ideas and presented it cleanly here. And then from there, it gets a little easier to complete your funnel.
Absolutely.
So thanks, Michael, for coming on today. I will say, for everybody watching, this is one of our first Hustle Sauce episodes. Michael is actually helping me as we launch this, as we put these episodes on YouTube and on in podcast format on Spotify and the other channels. So I highly recommend his services. I've seen him work with a number of other people. Michael, is it yourpodcastcoach.com? Just to make sure I get that right.
Yeah, if you just go to yourpodcastcoach.com, you can click on the orange button, or if you just go to yourpodcastcoach.com/podcast roadmap, you'll go right to my awesome landing page.
Yeah. So you can check out his whole funnel there. If you want to subscribe to receive future episodes of Hustle Sauce, I'm sure there'll be a link nearby. Michael's been coaching on my call to action here at the end. I'm fumbling a little bit. And then the second call to action I'll make is head on over to thanks.io and claim your $10 in free credits from thanks.io if you'd like to check out that as well. And that's about it. Thanks again, Michael.
You bet. Good job.
All right.